the sensor has measured the temperature in excess of a maximum allowable limit. And this one we're gonna look to validate using the ohm chart. But hopefully someone didn't put the circulator in backwards and pipe in the wrong damn direction, because the boiler don't like that shit. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Okay, I don't like the circulators on the returns. I don't like that.
Look at the supply, right?
I like it pumping away. Pumping away is always better. Always better if you can pipe away. It's pump away. It's better.
What do you mean by away?
Well, the way I'm going to say, because this is on a return side, all return side here. Okay, away would be on the supply. So we mount the circulator here. Now, if the thing, we're not going to drag that boiler ever into a vacuum by pumping away. Just dragging a return is we're getting all this cavitation and shit, dribbling back and stuff. Circulators aren't going to last as long as they will on the supply with a full column of water on it.
Right. Now,
So
in New York, most of them are on the return.
Well, that's because 98% of boilers, when they ship the boiler on a pallet, they put the pump on the return side, because there was a flange there, a perfect place to mount it, and put it right there. We stopped doing that shit. That's why we mount them in a box. So
Yeah, they come installed it, but you can move it.
Absolutely.
They just leave it there. A lot of the installers, because it was already there. They assume that's the right thing, the right place, the best place to
right,
leave it.
but it ain't gonna be going, piping this way and dragging the water to that would be wrong all the way around.
Aside from expanding the life of the circulator pump, what's the other benefit having it on the supply?
Feeds water better. It's not going to drive down into a negative and overfeed the boiler, because it's always added pressure. As far as the piping system, anything but a primary secondary loop. On a primary loop job, if we're trying to drive the air out of that loop, piping away is going to add pressure to the system. Where piping a return is going to be drawing it into a vacuum. Right? So it's just
Could it cause also more air to go into the system because it's on return?
Yes, it'll drag air in where a piping away is going to pressurize.
Right. So there, some customers of ours, like every year,
And they're quieter too.
yeah, every year, once or twice a year, they get air in the system.
Airbound.
Go in
These
and
are
out.
perfect customers for pipe away conversion, man.
Right.
Textbook. Look, we could stop this game of me coming and looking the hose and dragging buckets of water out of here, trying to drag the air out of this thing by converting this thing over to pump.
To the supply.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
See, you learned something.
One of them called like that the other day, Ron.
Yeah, that's why. Now, and he said
And you
90%.
haven't really enjoyed a good time till you try and drag all the air out of a manifold T system.
No, it's a nightmare. it's a nightmare.
And then you get a schmuck that tries to do it with the circulator running too, so you really have a bad time. Because you can't get the air out of them with the circulator running a manifold T. You gotta shut everything off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're right. 98% happen on the return and leave it on the return.
Right, because they were sent out that way on the pallet.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
So how do we discourage it? Leave it in the box. So now we leave it in the box. That's
Right.
why it comes in a box on my boilers.
Yeah.
Smartened up. Took years. Hell, we're still doing with pilot lights, for God's sakes, in this technology.
I know.
So, this is a very slow changing thing.
Yeah, it is.
So, but that's okay. It keeps everything, okay. Now we were talking before about the wiring diagram on this. That we know 2 yellow wires are DT, and P3 is where we want to make up the line voltage to it. Yes. And then we got our gas valve here.
Mm-hmm.
Gas valve here. And the damper. So the control module is powered up by 24 volts. Here's a real tip. If we don't see any display whatsoever on that, chances are we don't have any voltage on that. So
Any display where? Oh, no, I get it.
yes,
Yeah,
because that's powered 24
If you don't see the
volts.
7,
The
you
control
don't
module is powered up 24 volts by the transformer. If the display is blank, we suspect that there's a power supply issue. Could be faulty transformer, somebody shorted something out, perhaps, but This is what we're gonna think. We're gonna look at line voltage first, and then we're gonna look to establish that we got 24 volts. If the control is receiving 24 volts in the transformer, but display is blank, then we got a bad board. Bad board, something took it out. We always isolate thermostat circuit from boiler TT, the 2 yellow wires. Mandatory. A majority of the issues is caused by external wiring, transformers, and things of that nature, like zone valves and stuff like that. So these are just dry contacts. Those TTs aren't powered. So there's just a dry set, you know, they just put those 2 wires together, and they're not powered. They're not powered, okay? Okay, so control module is powered by 24 volts from the transformer. If the display is blank, we suspect a power issue. We're going to look at that, and then we can actually measure 24 volt out of the transformer on the pink and brown wires right over here. So where does the thing? How do we measure 24 volts in this thing? We stick 2 meter leads in the pink and brown wire right there.
Inside, from the wire side, like you said.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, we don't do it from the other way, because Ed doesn't like that. It's easy like that.
It's easy from here.
Okay?
He doesn't like going in on the tight hole.
No, I don't like that kind of stuff. Well, there's problems with it. Then it becomes loose and it's no fun for anybody. Okay, so cast iron. This is the induced draft motor. Basically, the way the controls work on this boy here, you know, it is similar. Okay, we got 6 sizes from 42 now to 225, a little smaller. Spark to pilot ignition, same. But this is fan assisted. We throw an inducer in the mix, rather than just the standard.
There's a higher efficiency. Oh, okay.
Higher.
Little higher.
A little higher efficiency. So, venting on the fan assistant product is a little different than on a draft hood.
Right.
Okay. On fan assisted, generally you want to have another at least non-fan assisted appliance sharing the same chimney. So by and large, a water heater or something else sharing the same chimney. So that we have condensation forming in the chimney.
Okay, and if it's not, then you gotta run PVC.
Liner.
Yeah,
What did you say?
like the PVC kind of material? Pipe?
Not
Or
on
double
this
wall.
boiler.
Not that one?
Not on this boiler.
What do you do, the double wall?
This, yeah, this is just gonna be like this isn't like direct vented. This still got a category 1 vent.
Okay,
This is still metal vent, which I like double wall pipe on all this stuff, because it's, you know, we don't have the screws falling out of the sheet
Right,
metal and
right,
shit
right,
like that.
right.
And look at rust stains and stuff for condensation taking place.
the type B?
So this is you know, what you wanna be doing.
But most don't have the double wall on the field.
Yeah, well, most of them are pretty short. The chimney's like right there, so I mean, if it's only fairly short, stuff that's longer, it's that, always the double wall's a little bit better. Always gonna be a little bit better way to do it. That's gonna maintain the integrity of the vent products. And how many times you've seen the screws the heads get real old, rusted out, and then they're falling out?
Yeah.
That's because condensation's taking place in
Right.
there. And when that condensation is acidic as hell, and it eats those screws. That's why the hell they fall out. So to keep that away from dew point, you use a nice double wall vent pipe, and you don't have any of that shit in the first place.
Right.
So this one uses the dual of flame rod as well. Okay, there's a little bit of a difference now on the IE boiler, because it's the control now's got provisions for the inducer, right? So there's a little bit of difference between just the standard GWB8E and then the IE is gonna have provisions for the inducer, otherwise, because it's 2 different part numbers.
Do you guys know where the inducer fan motor is and how it is? You ever seen it in the furnaces too, where you have the fan spinning? You know,
Right,
that's what they mean by that. They could be, and they're inside the boiler, right?
This one's mounted right on the outside,
That one's on the outside?
Yeah,
Okay.
right on the outside.
Some are inside, some are outside, depends.
Right.
Okay.
And then the wiring difference, now we got the inducer on this thing too, right, see,
You guys see it?
the inducer. All of the other, operating parameters, set point we talked about, they're all the same. Okay, this is still on the 2112, so we're gonna get to dash 3 now, how about that? Okay, this is even easier. So gone is that long, big, giant, Honeywell 2112 compliant control. Now we got like a couple of different components that we're dealing with. We got the sparker module for the gas valve and all, over here, the Honeywell one, and then we got the hydrostat control. I'll tell you all about that. I'll tell you about that too. Okay.